Okay, so when you picture Jupiter and Saturn, what comes to mind? Probably these huge, swirling balls of gas, right? Well, what if I told you that recent discoveries are showing us they're actually the strangest, most dynamic, most mind-bending places in our entire solar system? Seriously, we're talking about stuff that's rewriting the textbooks on how planets even work. Think about it. What if the most bizarre alien worlds we can imagine aren't out there in some distant galaxy, but have been right here, hiding in plain sight all along? That's exactly where we're headed. So let's take a trip out to Jupiter and Saturn. The new data coming back from there is just shattering everything we thought we knew about planets, about moons, and yeah, maybe even about life itself. And we're going to start with the biggest one. Yep, hidden oceans. Look, for a second, just forget about Mars, because it's starting to look like the most promising spots to find life aren't on some dusty red planet. Nope, they're in these massive oceans of liquid water buried in the last places you'd ever think to look. And this is the big question, right? It's what's driving so much of space exploration. It really started to get serious with Jupiter's moon, Europa. First the Galileo probe flew by and saw a surface that looked just like cracked icebergs floating on something. Then Hubble actually spotted what looked like plumes of water vapor blasting into space. The clues were starting to add up. And get this, the scale of this thing is just mind-blowing. We're talking an ocean estimated to have twice the amount of water as all of Earth's oceans combined. Think about that. It's a globe-spanning ocean, and it's not kept liquid by the sun. It's Jupiter's insane gravity constantly squeezing and pulling on the moon that churns its core and keeps it all warm and liquid under that ice. And good news, NASA's Europa Clipper mission is literally on its way there right now to get a much closer look. Okay, but it gets even wilder. Let's hop over to Saturn. Its little moon, Enceladus, isn't just hinting that it has an ocean. Oh no. It is actively spraying samples of it into space from more than 100 geysers. It's like a cosmic buffet, just offering up free samples of whatever is down there under the ice. And what a sample it is. The Cassini spacecraft actually flew right through those plumes. And what did it find? Well, you've got water, you've got organic molecules, you've got salt, but the real jaw-dropper, the smoking gun, was silica. We're talking tiny grains of sand that could only form in really hot water. That's a huge deal, because it means there are almost certainly hydrothermal vents on its ocean floor, just like we have here on Earth, heating that water up to nearly 200 degrees Fahrenheit. All the ingredients are there. And just when you think you've seen it all, Jupiter's largest moon, Ganymede, strolls in. It's the only moon in a solar system with its own magnetic field, which is weird enough. But our models suggest its ocean isn't just one big blob of water. No, it's more like a giant, cosmic club sandwich. Layers of liquid water stacked between different layers of ice. How cool is that? Okay, so from these hidden, deep oceans, let's head up, way up, into the atmospheres of the gas giants themselves. Because the weather we're seeing there, it's not just extreme, it is genuinely beyond belief. 300 miles. Just let that number sink in. That's how deep the roots of Jupiter's great red spot go. We're talking about a storm that could swallow our entire planet, and its roots plunge down more than 40 times deeper than the Mariana Trench. And it's been raging for at least 300 years. Powered by, well, we're still trying to figure that part out. And this bizarre weather leads to some seriously alien rain, or hail, I should say. For years, scientists were scratching their heads. The Juno probe showed that Jupiter's upper atmosphere was weirdly empty of ammonia. Where did it all go? The answer, it turns out, was in the hail. They came up with this great name for it, mushballs. Here's how it works. You have these powerful updrafts that fling water ice crystals way up high. Up there, they run into ammonia gas. Now, ammonia acts like antifreeze, so it melts the ice into this slush. Then, that slushy mix refreezes, forming a heavy core with an icy shell around it. These mushballs get so heavy, they just plummet down deep into the atmosphere, taking all that ammonia with them. And just like that, mystery solved. All right, let's pop over to Saturn, because there we find something so geometrically perfect, it honestly looks like someone built it. It's a massive, six-sided jet stream at its north pole, a hexagon. This thing is wider than our entire planet, with winds screaming at hundreds of miles per hour. But here's the part that just breaks your brain. It's been a perfect, stable hexagon for decades, for as long as we've been watching it. I mean, how does a storm do that? Okay, so beyond the planets themselves, you've got this whole gallery of their moons. And some of them are just spectacularly weird. Let's do a quick lightning round of the greatest hits. First up, Io. You got a feel for this moon. Jupiter's gravity is constantly torturing it, squeezing it like a cosmic stress ball. And that squeezing melts its entire inside into magma. The result? It's the most volcanic place in the solar system. We're talking thousands of volcanoes erupting non-stop, blasting sulfur plumes hundreds of miles into space, and just constantly burying the old surface under fresh lava. Next, let's visit Titan, Saturn's biggest moon. This place is haunting. It's so familiar, but so alien at the same time. It has rivers, lakes, clouds, rain, even seasons. But it's not water. It's all liquid methane at a bone-chilling -290 degrees Fahrenheit. When the Huygens probe landed there, it sent back pictures of a solid ground, eroded and carved by rivers of liquid methane. It's a twisted mirror of Earth. And then you get the real oddballs, like Atlas, one of Saturn's moons that's swept up so much junk from the rings that it's bulged out at the equator and looks exactly like a flying saucer. Or Iapetus, which is this perfect cosmic yin-yang. One half is pitch black because it's collected all this dark dust, and the other half is as bright as fresh snow. Okay, for this last part, I want to zoom way out, because all these bizarre discoveries, they're not just a collection of weird fun facts. They point to something much, much bigger. The incredible influence these giant planets have on, well, everything, and the huge mysteries they still hold. This might be one of the most shocking discoveries of all. Saturn's rings, they're not permanent. They look so solid, so eternal, right? But data from Cassini showed they're literally raining down onto the planet. Think of it like a giant ice sculpture melting. We're losing 22,000 pounds of ring material every single second. In what is basically a cosmic blink of an eye, they'll be completely gone. So we've talked about hidden oceans, crazy hail made of ammonia, moons that look like flying saucers. But after all of that, the single biggest, most important discovery isn't about any one of those things. No, it's about what it all adds up to. It's the realization that these giant worlds aren't just passive bystanders. They are the architects. They shaped everything. In a very real way, they're the reason we even have a world to live on. Here's the theory. Our best models show that as a very young Jupiter was forming, its immense gravity started to carve ripples in that big disk of dust and gas swirling around the early sun. And those ripples acted like cosmic speed bumps. They created zones where material could slow down and start clumping together, and that is what allowed the rocky inner planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, to form. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. Without Jupiter playing the role of the great shaper, there's a very good chance we just wouldn't be here at all. And really, that's the big takeaway from all of this. All these bizarre, wonderful discoveries, they all point back to this one incredible truth. These giant, distant worlds, they didn't just give us something beautiful to look at through a telescope. Their sheer power and gravity helped create and protect our world. They gave us a place to call home. Which just leaves you wondering, what other secrets are they still hiding out there?